This video is about the microscope packet, in particular the microscope lab that you all did for bioengineering. I've had quite a few questions on it, so I thought I'd go over it quickly, some major concepts that I want you to know, and maybe give some suggestions about doing the packet. I'll probably do it in a couple of different short videos just to break things up a little bit. So for the lab that you did, there were two parts to the lab. One part, shown here in blue, light blue, is a simple magnifier. And the other part, if we page down a little bit, will show the second part, which is the compound microscope. And this one is the one where you used two lenses and the black construction paper. Okay, so the main concepts for a simple magnifier are how to determine the focal length on that single lens, and that the object must be between 1 and 2 focal lengths from the lens in order to magnify. So you guys determined the focal length of your single lens by basically having light come into the lens, as it shows here from the left, and then the lens focuses it to a tiny little bright white spot. That would be the focal point. And the distance from the lens to the focal point is your focal length. So that's what you did in the lab to determine the focal length, and you measured that with a ruler. Then you took that lens and looked at an object and moved the object to different distances from the lens. So you see here, the object is 2 focal lengths, 2 times the focal length from the object, and it is the same size. The image is the same size as the object. The next diagram here shows if the object is between the focal length and 2 times the focal length, then you can see that the image is larger than the object, and that's magnifying. That's what we want for this project. And in the third diagram, if the object is farther than 2 times the focal length that you determined, then the image is going to be smaller than the object, and we don't want that. So we definitely want to position our object or our sample between 1 and 2 focal lengths from the lens. Okay, so then what do you need to do to complete this part of the lab? So if you page down to table 1, you would have put the object distance, so how far away from the lens to the object, your data, you would put that here in the first column. So that should have been filled out. And then the height of the original object, which is what you would have just measured with your ruler, and the height of the image, which you would have measured with a ruler on your magnifying glass. So obviously the height of the image should be bigger than the height of the object. So that you did in class. And then table 2 is your calculations. And you would do your calculations using the equation 1 over f equals 1 over I, which is the image distance, plus 1 over O, which is the object distance. And you would put your results to those calculations right here where it says image distance. So that's basically how to do the first part of the packet. And if you want a quick tutorial on how to use this equation, I'll do that in the next video.